Oh, we are live. So we are just going to give it a few more minutes for the people to join. And then we can start. And so before we start, we can ask a few questions. Okay, let's just dive into asking a few questions that you should be asking yourself though. Now, for example, if I come to you and I tell you something that you have not heard before, what is the first question that most of the people are going to ask you? The first thing they are going to ask you is, iyo ulisoma wapi? Iyo uliambiwa na nani? But if someone told me what was their source, if I read something, what will be the source of the person who wrote it? By default, itakuwa imetoka from their mind. It will be their mind that will have come up with whatever they have written or whatever they have given or they are passing to you. And when you give your power away like that to external, that is what is called being illuminated. So everything that you have, you are learning from outside of you. So you are illuminated. So all of you are Illuminati. Most of you are illuminations. Most of you have been illuminated. Everything that you know comes from watching the TV, comes from a teacher teaching you, comes from, because we are in a world where we have very few people who are self-taught. We have very few people who are learned or who have gone outside and learned from themselves. That is what is called being enlightened from within. So it's coming from inside you. It's coming from you going to your internal, to your mother, whether you want to call it your mother, to your yin, and learning it for yourself. Now, we can break it down even further. And shout out to everyone joining the space. Shout out to all the people saying hi. And you know what we say when you come to this channel, we don't do any ponderings. When you come to this channel, you have to be respectable. You have to talk to other people, other strangers that you are watching the live with. We are building a community because your president is busy selling out Africa, not just your country, not just the Ongiek being pushed out of their homesteads, and no one is covering that because your media like leaking your leaders' asses. Because who owns these media houses? It's them. So don't expect anything to come from the media. The work of the media is to shit on your brains all the time. So you are busy. Your president has... anyway, forget about your president. Forget about the person presiding. The one president means to preside over something. Okay, and there's a reason why they have an interest in Africa. And this goes even very deep, but I don't want to go into those depths. So I haven't even started my lecture. Decline. I don't want your request. Someone is requesting to be on the show. So like the title says, it's an open panel. So open panels means you can request to be a guest if you have anything on your mind that you'd like to share. Being an open panel means you can ask a question. Okay, this doesn't come easy. I know you don't like free things. However, you can ask a question. And just like you like things being monetized so that you can pay because the world you are in, you are used to buying things, we can also sell if that is what you want. Or you can buy, you don't have to sell. So it's an open panel, you can ask. So shout out to everyone. Let me see who's in the space before I continue. We have Grace Dairo. Wanja says hi. Airlight, they are Airlight. I don't know how to pronounce your name. John Tewa Nails are in the house. Shout out to John Tewa Nails. Upload Anita FX join the live. We have Caris. Caris is saying 100%. Invite Mokami to go live together. Shout out to Mokami. If you want hubs, you can talk to Mokami 111. Okay, one says Dayo. LW join. Caris like the live. So you can talk to Mokami. Mokami 111. Mokami deals with hubs. So if you want anything herbal, like the things your government is very quick to ban so that the pharmaceutical can continue killing you, because that's $1 billion industry where they don't provide cures, they provide temporary reliefs. Okay, if you want, you can talk to Mokami. She sells herbal products. If you want mapenzi tea, if your dick cannot be hard enough for over 20 minutes, you can talk to Mokami. She's going to give you something for your dick. Not just Yaris or Viagra, something herbal. If you have prostate problems, when you go to pee, you trickle. You don't pee, you trickle. You can talk to Mokami. Shout out to Mokami. And this live is not sponsored by Mokami. Msianza kusema, Ana shout out Mokami. Mokami is sponsoring the live. No, I just like shouting out people who are doing real stuff for the community. Ni sasa. Don't be biased. There are some people who, instead of building, they tear down. That is most of the minds for the African people. Ask yourself this. In the age of technology and AI in the year 2023, you cannot use simple maps to get places where you are going. You have phones that have maps. You call the smartphones. But mkiita watu mahali, mazishi, ni lazima mchore barabara na chalk. That is, you don't even see these things until you think about it. Munachora barabara na chalk nini? Ati tunachora hivi, munafunga hapa, mtu wa bodaboda amepewa kazi na gunia ya mchanga ya white, ati anamwaga na weka haro, ati don't go this way, go, and you have smartphones. So are you becoming dumber? So think about it. Are you really becoming dumber? Or more aware? Kitambo watu walikuwa wanaambiliwa mahali anaenda bila map. Ulikuwa unamwambia kuja Nakuru, anakuja bila map, bila simu, na atafika. Because you have taken away humanity. You don't even want to talk to people. Juu unaweza enda mahali unasimama unauliza boss, kuna mahali nimeambiliwa, kunaitwa hivi na hivi, na nasikia kuna manzi. Someone is going to direct you. Sasa nyinyi mnafikiria advance with your smartphones. You are becoming backwards. Ona mtu akichora barabara na chalk. When you look at it like, wait a minute. Like when you really think on a deeper level, are we becoming dumb as Africans? Because when you go to Europe, sijaiona mtu anachora na chalk. It's either you are sent directions on your phone, you can use Google Maps, the cars zinakuja na mapping system na vitu kama hizo. But Africans, you love to suffer. You love pain based on you being too close to that chakra, what you call the sun, which is not the sun, but it is the temperament or interaction with that other atmosphere. I saw you the other day celebrating at Elon Musk and hit the firmament. We have always been talking about that, but we don't call it the firmament. It's called an atmosphere. AKA, we are on a water cycle. A body of water, what you want to call a star or earth or chakra or Gaia that is rotating to the west. So since we are rotating to the west, the sun appears to be coming from the east, but the sun is not moving. It's not actually the sun that you are seeing. It's our interaction with that other atmosphere, which is nothing but another water body. Water behaves differently on different levels. You can see when you sit in your own house, water taking different transitions from ice to water to steam. The same thing, different phases. So we have different ways that stars behave, what you are calling atmosphere. So Elon Musk hawezi ingiza hiyo kitu yake into the other atmosphere based on the fact that even if you are to send a rocket, we have never been to space. We have never been to the moon. Even if you are to send, you cannot land on the moon. The moon is not even physical. The moon is like a satellite. It's a reflection. There's no moon that is physical. Hakuna. Just like the rainbow, there's no rainbow that is physical. So look at the moon and the rainbow like the same thing. Just like for you to observe the atmosphere you are in, the atmosphere, or what you are calling a horizon, the farthest you can see, you are only able to observe something that you are inside of. So unless now we leave this atmosphere and jump into the other water cycle, that is the only time we can observe. So hata mkirusha a million rockets, you never observe an atmosphere that is outside of you. The same way your body organs, your heart, your lungs, your cells, they will never experience anything outside of your body. They can only experience the blood cells inside your blood. Hata ukitoa damu from yourself, the blood cell will still be inside the blood. If you take them out of the blood system, they will die. Now, we say this is an open panel. So let's see kama kuna watu wameingia. Grand Rising, shout out to Warenga. Yeah, even the sun is not physical. Shout out to Warenga. The sun, what you are calling the sun, unaona hiyo kitu mnasemanga ni jua, that is not the sun. What you are seeing is what happens when you have two high velocity objects interacting with each other. So your interaction, the event, the sun is an event. That event is what you call the sun. That event is what is called the sun, which is nothing but a temperature, or what you are calling a temperament of our body of water, what you are calling Earth, Gaia, Tiamat, your planet, Maito, interacting with another body of water that is closest to us. So what you are calling the sun. And before you think the sun is the one going around, you are the people who are rotating to the west. You can go and look at your hair and ask yourself why your hair grows round. You can go and look at the rings of a tree, or you can look at your fingerprints, or you can go and open your basin, your sink, and watch the water go round. Not the sun. You are on the body of water that is going round. Shout out to the subconscious community. Shout out to everyone in that space. Each one teach one. That's why the event can be out, but you are freezing. Icy season. Yes, because they have been lying to you that the sun is a ball of fire. Use your head. If you light fire, the closer you get to the fire, it will get hot. There's nothing like condensation. There's nothing like conduction. So if you are to get on a plane and travel, it would get hotter. But when you get on a plane, the higher you go, the cooler it becomes. Not because of condensation. Because the higher you go, okay? The higher you go away from the ground, the cooler it becomes. Because the only reason you are hot on the ground is because of what we are calling temperament. AKA, if you are to get in a matatu, na mkae hapo nyinyi wote, after 5 minutes kama mko wengi, mnaambianga watu nini? Fungua dirisha. Kwa nini? It's getting hot. Because you are too close to each other. You are too close to each other. So it's getting hot. You are creating a temperament, a temperature. So, you can go, if you are to go to what you are calling the sun, your event, if you are to go there, you'll be at the same temperature you are on Earth. You're not going to get burned. Because again, if you are to go to that event, the only reason that you are feeling the heat is because of what we are calling that temperament, speculative, operative, temperature. And I can't take your mind deeper than that. All I can do is take you to the river. You make your cup and drink. Hakuna kitu kama the polars. Hakuna kitu kama the polars. So, for you to learn, like I told you, when I was starting this live, I said everything that you know, you have been told. You have been told. It has been written from someone's mind. All you need to go is do it. Go outside and observe for yourself. The North Poles, the icy lands in Europe, the reason they freeze is because they are further away from that event. So they are further away from that temperament. So they are cooler. So that is why those waters, they freeze what you are calling the continental shelves and the ice walls. That is why the waters are freezing. I told you, I did the Balkan Sea crossing. I went to the North Pole. I went to the Penguins. Someone paid for my trip. It cost me around 950,000. That was how many years ago? That was 5 years ago. Okay? It was an expensive trip. I was the only black man during that great crossing where you have waves 50 feet. I was sick the whole trip. Everything is bolted in that ship. Everything moves. I was sick for 5 days. I couldn't stand it. So when you get to that place, everything is quiet. Everything is frozen. The waters are crystal clear. And when you have esoteric knowledge, that is when you know, oh shit, I have traveled to the edge of the world. Not edge of the world, how you think that unafika mwisho unaanguka. No, edge of the world as in, everything is slowed down. What you call the outskirts. Okay? And I'm going to go back there now with how my mind is expanded. That is again on my bucket list. My bucket list, the carnival. I love watching naked women dancing with feathers and all those things. I have to go to the carnival. COVID ruined it for me the last time I wanted to do it. I have to go to carnival. I have to go back to the North Pole. Okay? But this video is not about me. So, the more east you travel, aka to those lands, what you call Africa, or the land of many heat, Africante called it the land of many seed, what you call the sun. Na vitu kama hizo, explain to yourself even why you have a pigmentation, what you call melanin. Melanin is something you produce. Melanin is not your skin color. Your skin color is a pigmentation. This pigmentation comes from you being under this, you being closest to that other chakra, that other environment, that other event that we are calling the sun. The closer you get to that thing, the more you have a pigmentation, an adaptation. Your skin has adapted to being closer to the sun. Think about it like this. Kiuraruoga. When you put a frog inside hot water and you hit the water, hiyo chura inaweza toka kutoka mpaka hiyo maji chemuke juu the water is warming inside. Now you being the lost tribe, you have been born out of wedlock, aka you are so mixed up as Africans from the Berbers who came and raped your mothers and your grandmothers, from the Arabs and all these cultures, even today who are coming to marry you, even now you are sleeping with the Chinese. You are so mixed up. You are such mats that as a lost tribe, you have gotten too comfortable under this sun, and this sun is evil. So you have gotten too comfortable. Ask yourself where your spirit is at when you hear people talking about going to the north. Jiulize, mbona mtu akienda majuu you are so excited? Ati ameenda majuu. It's not about majuu, Europe. It's about majuu, you traveling to your North Pole, the real north, where your consciousness is. And the more east you travel, or the more north you go, the more to the east you travel. You can try this. Stop calling me demon. Your call is not important right now. Right now you don't even care about it if it's about money. Wata sijui nani anipigia simu. Ajui si masaa ya kunipigia simu. Something is very wrong with that. That is how you get blocked. That is how it's going to get blocked. At the higher you go, najua ni moto. Yeah, you are stupid because that is what you have been taught. You have been taught that the sun is hot. So you are laughing instead of learning and going to sleep on it and thinking, wait a minute, I've had it all wrong. The sun is not hot. Otherwise, those rockets mngekuwa mnarusha kwa jua zingekuwa zina melt. Think. Use your brain. If the sun was hot, there would be nothing like clouds out there. Jenga, unaonaje hii gaslighting habit from our politicians made us targeting youth? They hate the youth. Your leaders hate you. Your parents hate you. Your fathers hate you. Your mothers hate you. Buga buga. Shout out to Warenga. Now, back to the live. Naona muulize maswali. When I tell you it's an open panel, when I tell you can request as a guest, you shy away. When we don't want interaction, that is when you call. That is when you ask questions. But that is human nature. But you can also learn. You can also sit there and learn. So that was the introduction. This video is not about the sun. Today is Friday, Venus. So the moon is in Aries. So every time I'm having my Jenga na Jenga meetups, the soul group meetups, I no longer care about that name. You can take the name soul group and create your own soul group because you don't know how to build anything. You like destroying, so you can take the name soul group. Chukua staki, take it, build something around it. That is how detached we are in this world. We don't even care about the names. Take the name soul group and go with it. Create your own soul group. So the moon is in Aries. So the moon is in the first house, aka the face, your headspace, your crown chakra, or what you call the organs that condensed and created the headspace. So this is ruled by Mars. Mars is also the ruler of Scorpio. Okay? So when the moon is in Aries, what is the moon? The moon is your reactions. The moon is your macabre. The moon is the moon is your true self. When it comes to astrology, the sun is what we see. When I look at Warenga, I'm going to see how she appears and shout out to that beautiful witch. When I look at Warenga, I see the sun, what she appears, what she represents. However, the true Warenga will be her moon, her reactions, her internal reactions. I'm a mid-heaven Taurus. Okay? What does that mean? I come from the eyes of the bull. What does that make me? You've been on this page long enough. What does that make me? Me being a mid-heaven Taurus, what does that make me? As a backdrop of where I came from. What you see is this, the representation that I picked when I went to my father, when he was fucking my mother. So first of all, I went through my father, his thoughts, his idea. In the beginning was the word. Then after I picked everything from my father, whatever I wanted to learn from him, jumped into my mother, the females, the container. I picked everything that I needed from them. And then I realized, okay, coming through them, I have to learn some lessons or some things. So I'm going to dock a mothership into my mom's womb, a container to be born into this realm of existence to experience this in the 3D, aka where it is slowed enough for me to learn my lessons. There are other realms of existence where all it takes is a second. In a second, you'll have experienced everything. Birth, experience, death. You always have to go through the three. There's life, experience, and death. Nasikia mtu akisema ati I'm living my life. You are not. You are here to experience because the only things you can remember is what you experience. The first day you lost your virginity, the first day you cried, the first day you fell from a tree, the first day, all those are experiences. So you are here for experiences. Now, the only way, and this is the greatest, this is how you understand this hell that we are in. You are in this hell so that you have enough time slowed down for you to correct the things that you need to correct. This is the only realm where you can experience birth or sex slow down, that you can do it in the physical. Otherwise, in your mind, you have sex in an instant. Thought and a feeling, sex, creation, whatever you have decided. For example, if I was to start this car and go somewhere, that means thought, father, intellect, dhodh, gekoyo, masculine, externalizing, feminine, feeling. How do I feel about going that place? And then immediately I decide to go, I have created a creature. So that's instant. But in this dimension, everything is slowed down so that you can experience. So really, when you understand it deeply, the simulation is very important. It is very important to be on this world. Because this is the only place where you can slow it down. And when you are here, you can like the life or not like, it doesn't matter. Or you can share the life, it doesn't matter. But I have to remind you, because this is a world where you have to be reminded of everything. So the gaslighting, your parents hate you. But not because they hate you, but because their grandmothers also hated them. Okay? And we can even go deeper into even all the way why you have red soil. Because I look at people talking about the red soil. The only reason you are on red soil is you understand what you call the root chakra. And understanding what you call the micro, macro, or how we come up with these systems of what you are calling the rainbow, the condensations of everything, and how everything begins to the point now when you understand even how a fruit becomes ripe. All the way going from brown, when you put it in the dirt as a seed, transitioning into a green growth structure, red, dying, purple, a fruit, of something dying. When something is dying, it has to turn red. That is why gari kikanyangwa break, unaona red. Something is coming to a stop, an end. Story for another day. That's why, okay, let's see if you have a question. Don't blame the youth. Women registration scored on a crack down on youth. Mount Kenya women. All these people have to die. All these people have to die, and it's a good thing because they are not going to be here in the next 10 years. But the damage is already done. Your president is selling your country through carbon emissions. Your president alikuja hapa akadanganywa hapa ati you're spearheading the green emission bullshit, carbon tax emissions scam. So this is the new colonization whereby you saw the UAE has bought land the side of UK na itakuwa inachukua hiyo pesa yote. That is what they are going to do here. That is why your president is in Tanzania. The new colonization ni kitu inaitwa carbon credit, where people are going to come into your country. I've been telling you, create communities and buy land. Stop buying apartments like the dumb people you are. Stop wasting your 7 million shillings on apartment. Go and buy land. You are going to be paid these carbon credits. That is the new future. But that is a plan. Hii yote mnaona ni plan hii, nunua broti maguta. They know these things. They don't do these things in Europe. The white people used to be in current. Saizi wamenunua Laikipia, Nanyuki, ranches. That is the new colonization ni carbon credits. Sasa mtakuwa tena mnasema, oh, you are children of Mau Mau. Oh, you are children of the slaves. Your parents are selling you as you are speaking. Ruto, your president, is selling Africa to the white people in the name of carbon credits. There's no global warming in the world. Kwa sababu dunia yenyewe, the whole world is yenyewe, haijafika it's 12 p.m. The world haijaifika saa sita yake, so there's no global warming. Totile towa kinyamiara hoyathi. The world in its own age has not gotten to a p.m. So all that is fake. Africa, you have not produced any emissions to be spearheading all this nonsense on TikTok and global warming. You have not produced anything. This is a plan to make you not benefit from your resources. They want you to make sure you never benefit from your oil again. You'll never exploit oil because your president alisema ati how can I exploit oil when it is going to destroy the environment. Do you see how stupid you are again? So now you have gold which you are never going to benefit from, and blood diamonds. So now you have oil in Turkana yenye president wenyu amesema hezi uza at a green technology. What green technology? We should be seeing the white people spearheading hizo green technology juu wao ndio wamekuwa na hizo green emissions. Wao ndio wamekuwa na hiyo global warming. But again, Africans, you are being duped. Mmeshika placard, oh, the gaucho, oh, climate. New colonization, new way of getting carbon credit. People will be paid billions of shillings over your forest yenye wamenunua. Wenda ukanunua apartment. Because you think you are clever. Because you think you got your PhD. Because everything you learn from external. There's no global warming. If there was global warming, haufai kuambiwa na mtu. Ungekuwa unapita unaona ndege imeanguka. Pa! Kwa nini imeanguka hii? Hey! Kwani kumekuwa aje huko juu? Things will be dying. Have you seen trees dying? There's no global warming. Trees are growing. That's called the weather. El Nino, every 7 years. Intercalendar year, an year like this one, it has 13 months. A stretched year. Everything is stretched. You are women, you are getting 13 periods. These are natural things. In the Bible, this man went and dreamt and talked to the king. And I saw 7 fat cows eat the 7 weak cows. The 7 sabbatical year. Hii mwaka, enyamuko mnafaa kuvuna. You're supposed to plant and leave it to God. Mulivuna, mulipana, mukingojea kuvuna. Mukaanza kusema, oh, tumeuziwa GMO. Hiyo mahindi yote iko na kitu ndani. It is the year of the Lord. Mnadanganywa, mnapewa GMO, zinaharibu mchanga yenu. Mnatumia Roundup, all these pesticides, mnaharibu your soil. When your grandfathers and your fathers were cultivating, tulikuwanga na mahindi kubwa sana, ilikuwa inatoshana na mguu. Mbegu mzuri ulikuwa unaweka kando na urudisha kwa shamba. Nyinyi mmepass laws, you cannot even share seeds. Ni akina nani wamepass hizo laws? People who look like you, they have black skin like you. They are not white, black skin like you. They have passed laws where it is illegal to share seeds. But you voted for them. Right now, they are again in parliament passing laws where it will be illegal to harvest water. Mutakuja muambiwe mtoe hizi gata zote. Unajua tunaambianga vitu mnaona ni mchezo. Mtaambiwa mtoe hizi gata zote, mtadanganywa kuna global warming, ati maji imeenda. Maji imeenda wapi? You live in a water cycle. Precipitation in a fall goes with the river back to the lake. Evaporation, condensation, you are inside a firmament. Maji inaenda wapi? At you are going to have a crisis with water. Maji iende wapi? Ulisikia wapi wewe maji inaweza isha? So you'll be told to take away all these gutters so that you don't harvest water, so that they can sell you water. Right now I am packed, kuna water point hapa. In Africa you don't even think. Can you imagine unanunua maji ya kunywa in Africa umedanganywa maji ni chafu? Nani alichafua maji? Who made the dirty water? Na maji ni chafu kweli? Kwa sababu Nairobi, you are the most sickest. You have the most insurance. Nyinyi mmelala kwa mawodi na nyinyi mnakunywa maji ya chupa. When I go out of town and I travel social experiments Turukana na kwingine wenye wanakunywa hiyo maji chafu, hakuna wodi, hakuna hospitali, hakuna insurance, hakuna cancer. So who's poisoning the water? Unanunua maji imewekwa kwa plastic. So who has poisoned the water? You are drinking the poison water stored in plastic containers. But you don't think. Then you see maji. Wengine, they think they're in spirituality. At the only cleanest water unaweza kunywa ni water that is reversed, wanaitanga reversed what? Some fancy names. Sijui reversed osmosis. These are your most spiritual people. It's not what you do, it's how you do. You can drink the most poison water and it is not going to do anything to you. Nothing. Where are we? Now I've lost my train of thought. Sometimes I get too carried away. Yeah, the World Economic Program has already said hakuna maji. You see? You are going to pay, you are going to get an air bill. When you unaekanga token, utakuwa unalipa hewa. Safaricom came up with a very clever ploy. Mkafikiria ni ujinga wanafanya. Remember, Safaricom is not you. That is the British, your mother, your colony. Wakawapea mitungi ati unaweka kama token. It was not. It was to study your kitchen. When you understand fire spiritually, uta understand where we don't play with fire. Now, gas, yenye munapika nayo, is weaponized fire. So that was to study how many times you light your fire, how much gas you are consuming. So they are already in your esoteric waters learning about your fire, vision, imagination, but unafikia ni technology. Kuna mtungu ya gas, inaji inanionyesha ile gas imebaki, you are going to pay for air. Trust me, mutalipa hewa. Si ati kutakuwa unapewa hewa unalipa. No, they gave you an experiment during that fake floating thing. They saw you can pay for oxygen. You are so stupid, so dumb, that unaambiwa ni oxygen unakunywa imepakejiwa. That's another demon calling me. Huyu ni mtu anafaa kujua na kuanga live. Na huyu sasa, I think I should block this person. But whatever we are doing, because we are doing business with him, then it means he does not respect me enough to know what I do. So I'm going to block him. But before I block him, wacha nimtumie message saa hizi hapa. Before I block him. Just a second. This is someone who's very selfish. Anafikiria kitu yote ni about him. Before you call me, check if I'm live, if you know me or you are doing business with me. Especially between this time. Between my hour, Taurus time, when my logo is in the air, or in the sky, what you call Batman, you are watching Batman the movie, there's a logo in the sky. So when the logo is in the sky, Batman alikuwa na respond. Okay? When your sunshine is in the sky, or when you are, I'm going to accept that request in a minute. When you are, what you call, the time that you are born, the screenshot of the time that you are born is in the sky, that's your logo, like Batman. Right now we're in Sagittarius season. So overall, ni Sagittarius iko kwa hewa. But within Sagittarius, you have the clock. You have the many hours of the zodiac, the first house, the second house, the third house. So during the second house, which is between 8 and 10, my logo inakuanga in the sky. But I've decided to come a little bit, ndio niingie Gemini, which is mutable air communication time, so that we can interact, the twins, or what you call Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible. Niliuliza swali hakuna mtu alijibu kwa comments. I asked if I'm a mid-heaven Taurus, what does that make me? Or where do I come from? When you say you come from the stars, we are talking about the 88 constellations. Where do I really come from? Behind the scenes. You should know where you came from. You should know whether you are a centaur. You should know whether you are a Pleiadian. I am a Pleiadian. I come from 15 degrees Taurus, the eye of the bull. That makes me a Pleiadian. That is why I care about you and Earth. Because this is the closest chakra to my world as a Pleiadian. Where jijue? John Tewa Nails, okay. Shout out to everyone in the comments. I'll spin me drink the dirty water. Wanasema kuna maji. Yes, Mr. Biz was here drilling wells. Yes, that is it. Guys, I keep telling you this. Create communities and buy land. And I will never get tired of this. Wacheni kununua mashamba hapa mnauziwa millions. Enda huko Mrito Wandei wanauza eka moja 150,000. Go and buy land, guys. That is be the new thing. Musifike mahali, because they are going to make it illegal to own land if you are not what you call a corporation. Those laws are coming. Akina Murkomen, the stupid people you are put in parliament, including your president, are going to pass these laws because they like licking the white people's asses. They like posing for pictures. The next laws that are coming are going to make it illegal to own land more than 5 acres as an individual, unless you are a corporation. And what is a corporation? A corporation is a piece of paper. Kama Bill Gates. So what you need to do right now, come together, create corporations. Hizo mnaitanga merry-go-round, or mnazitanga chama, mnazitanga circles. Then buy these lands, because those will be the rules. Only corporations can own land. If you don't know how to create a community, amutaweza kununua land. I keep telling you, mutakuwa mnanunua 50 by 50 maximum. These laws are on what you call the World Economic Program page. It is on Google. Okay? I won't tell you to stop watching porn kwa sababu utaacha. Reduce the hours you watch porn. Get on Google and learn what is happening in the world. Kwa sababu wendi unapanda kwa kitanda unazaa. Ujue ile kitu unazaa inakuja kwa dunia inakaa wapi. Don't be like that stupid person who was crucified and he was asking his father, 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 why have you forsaken me? Because his father forsook him. Jana was thinking of why people go out of Africa, many get work. Yes, that is why you always think of going Maju. Because your spirit knows that that is where your consciousness echo. It's like you are homing back to the true north. That's a story for another day, why we have a true north and another north, which will be your 11:45 a.m. in the morning, or even where we come without all that archangel Michael. To mic is to add something, spike something, grow something, microphone, add voice, na vitu kama hizo, or bring over protection. Okay, so let me give you an example. When you go to a beehive, nakuanga na beehives. My beehives are the log beehives because I collect propolis. When you go to the bee, ni sasa. Story for another day. I don't want to get into that. Someone is saying, I need a community. Be the community. Create the community. Start creating the communities. I look at you following that lost man. Munamuitanga Julius Malema. Pan-Africanism imepitwa na wakati. That is not how you are going to take over this world. You can do all Julius Malema you want. You can do all that Pan-Africanism thing you want. You can do all that Kemet thing you want. It imepitwa na wakati. We are in the new age of Aquarius, where it is mind over matter. So them, they have devised ways of creating billions out of thin air, carbon credits, by buying your lands. Bill Gates alikuja hapa akapewa Gulanu Kalalu, muka distractiwa ati Nairobi is unsafe. Ati watu wanadungwa kisu, Nairobi is unsafe. Ni kama polisi hawafanyi kazi. While you were distracted, he came, took Gulanu Kalalu. Mukasema hawa kwa hapa juu ya GMO, president wenyu akawa distract. Ati mimi mnaona niko na matiti, a distraction. Because I keep telling you, these people are not yours. They look like you, they have dark skin like you, but they are not yours. They don't even have fathers. Unasikia ati hakuna mtu anajua babake. Ati hajui, lakini mamake yako. Huyu mama ulizo wewe kijana alitoka wapi? Huyu mama atuambie kijana alitoa wapi? Jomo Kenyatta the first, no one knew the father. Unasemanga ati alilewa na Biu Koinange. And if you want us to go deep, you can go real deep. When you read Facing Mount Kenya, the first page inakuanga na illustration. Imeandikwa, this is an illustration of Jomo Kenyatta being led to detention. It was not a picture. It was an illustration. So someone illustrated. Iko kwa hiyo kitabu. And I keep asking you people, kama Jomo Kenyatta alikuwa anapigania uhuru, alikuwa anazaa aje na mzungu akiwa Ulaya? Who allowed the first president of Kenya, while other people were in the forest fighting for independence, he was with a white bitch and created a baby? You can only sleep with a white woman in their land if they welcome you. So he was one of them. Different skin color, but one of their children. One of the lost tribes. You'll have to wake up, people. Truly, they know how to track their children through bloodlines. They know how to track their bloodlines. They know how to track their blood streams. People are chosen. Those people mnaitanga leaders, your vote has never counted. Hiyo ni shenanigans. There's money for voting. We can print money. Money is printed. Money can be printed around the world. Those are shenanigans. These leaders are not you as black people. They look like you. They are not yours. Jiulize mbona hakurepresent. Mbona dunia mafuta inashuka yeye anapandisha because wameambiwa wawafinye. They talk to you. Do you see them in those? Uliona Ruta wakiwa kwa hizo meeting, ni kama anaangalia babake ameka, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, we are shaking hands. Why are you shaking hands with France? They are destroying Congo. Your president ako Tanzania akiuza Congo. But he looks like you. He has a black skin, but it's not yours. Bloodlines. These are blood wars going on. Princess Diana aliuliwa kwa sababu familia yao ingekubali walale na Dodi Alifaed. Si kwa sababu Dodi Alifaed hakuwa na dick ama kama Angela na Hizo ni bloodlines. They are not supposed to mix. Africans, you are really on your own unless you wake up. You have to really wake up. I don't know sasa hata nitawaambia nini. I don't know what to tell you guys. You really have to wake up sasa. You cannot sit back distracted by football, music, religion. In 2023, while Pisces has come and done away with all that religion thing, ndio saizi Africa munajenga stadiums for religion and prayers. You cannot fall for lies where the first lady anawaambia ati aliombea maji ikakuwa chumvi. Otherwise, angeenda, kama aliombea maji ikakuwa chumvi, that Ruto's wife, angeenda, abadilishe maji ya chumvi, Dakaine Dam, so that we don't need purification. Start thinking for yourselves, people. Stop being dumb. And I'm not going to miss my words. You make me... I don't even have the words for you. 40 years down the line, 50 years down the line, it will be the same story. Oh, these people, they came, they took our lands. Oh, they took our forests. You cannot get in. Those forests will be patrolled by drones. Drones. Wacha hivyo saizi unaingianga hapa forest unakuja na KWS. Those will be private forests because those will be businesses. People will be paid for carbon credits. They'll be controlled by drones, cameras that have 5G has already been put into the space through Elon Musk. Mukona internet ya Elon Musk. So uta need coverage in a forest. They have already thrown those things in the air. Your president is spearheading digital tracking in Africa. Mbona wasifanye hivyo Europe? You don't think you are the experiments, Africans. Again, they experimented with you with TB, experimented with you with tetanus. Hakuna tetanus. Now take it from me. Jega wa Muthaka. Hakuna mahali utaipata mtu ameuma mdomo hivi ati ni tetanus. Hakuna, you'll never see. That was an experiment, and that is why I hate weak knowledge. All this weak knowledge ikona fake spiritual people. Waikuja kusema ati usikule nyama, you already GMO. Ukona BCG, everybody has a sign on their hand. This was the first massive vaccination. The COVID vaccination is good for you. The COVID vaccination was very good for you. Was the next upgrade to this. This was the first one. Every time we go through a shift of upgrading into the new world, you need this. You need to be GMO'd. You need a BCG. COVID vaccination was a very good one for saving the world. It was very good to get the COVID vaccination. That was the upgrade for the consciousness of Aquarius. Hii ilikuwa ni ya Pisces. This was the Pisces. COVID, which is very good, vaccination ya COVID is very good, was for the upgrade of Aquarius age. Shout out to 666, KCK 666P. That's how you confirm when you are kicking real knowledge. Lazima ukonfirmiwe. Lazima ingepita hiyo gari. Prado, black. Ingia sasa wewe. Kwa lipa 500 ingie NTSA uangalie kama kuna gari kama hiyo nimemention. Colonization. People get colonized willingly. Your fathers were colonized willingly. They shook hands with the white people. Usidanganywe ati mzungu alikuja akatake over your land. No. The same way you are doing it today when they are taking this forest is the same way your grandfathers gave over your land. The same way the king came the other day and you couldn't wait to take pictures. Your influencers were happy to be invited to State House. Siwezi karibia huyo king. You don't know what has happened in the world. We are moved from the matriarch of the queen. The 3 men wako pale Kenyatta Avenue. Now he is a king. Ask yourself, mbona alikuwa anaitwa prince na alikuwa bwana yuyo? Si thought anafaa kuitwa king. Angeitwa king kwa sababu hiyo age ya Pisces, it was the matriarch in charge, the mother, the queen. But now you have a masculine and men are merciless. Men have no mercy. So prepare for very tough times coming forward. The agenda 2030 na vitu kama hizo. The agenda 2031 ni agenda 2013. If you want to know what is going to happen in 2031, look at what happened in 2013. Go and research. It is hidden in plain sight. Anyway, that's not the point. This is supposed to be an open panel. I'm not supposed to be teaching. What about those who have no desire to move Maju? You can stay here. Moving Maju is not even physical. It's your mind. I said you have to develop a mind. The greatest gift you have is your mind, your mental space. Learn how to create your heaven down here. You can create a heaven. The people in Europe are coming to Africa to buy land because huku tuyo numebaki na land ya kununua na kufanya hizo vitu. So you don't even have to go there. You can create it here. Shout out to Waithera. You are distracted by maandamano. True, Kenyatta was a sellout. Saying I do my best to the cousin, tribal wars. Thank you. They taught us a lot. I stand with Congo. Shout out to I start with Congo. Juzi mama alisema hadi ni kungojea. I'm out boy going lala. Shout out to you Waringa. Go and rest. Africa is hot cake right now. Dayo Waringa. But you have to understand this like this. It's not Africa, the land. It's Africa, the land, ikikuja physical, ukiona. However, it's Africa, the land of the sun, the land that chakra closest to the east. So ndio maana nashinda nikisema, nimeona hata mshiki venye nasema, when I tell you to travel to the north, to travel to the rising, to the east, sikuambi because that is what you consider Africa, or the land that is closest to that chakra. Sikuambi uende huko physically, because they are coming here physically. It's telling you to go to the east, go to your horizon, go to your crown chakra, go to your highest self. When you are to your highest self, now you can go to Africa and really buy Africa. Our kina Bill Gates is very good. I like Bill Gates. He's a philanthropist. He helps people in Africa. I like Bill Gates. He creates mosquitoes. Those are people who are very high on their highest chakra. Do you know what it means to be an individual? Unaenda kwa country, unatritiwa kama king, and you are an individual. Because remember, Bill Gates is a school dropout. He's just a businessman. But he's so high in thinking, crown chakra, he's so high to the east, Africa, the land of that interaction, that he's running the world. Spirituality, individuality, witchcraft, real witchcraft. The spiritual people don't use toothpaste with fluoride. They are very fake. It has got nothing to do with toothpaste. You can never calcify your third eye. Your third eye, you are born with your third eye open. Your third eye, story for another day, we'll get into that. Your third eye is these two eyes. This is what manifested from the third eye. But you need two eyes because you need the masculine and the feminine. Just like you have your body into the positive, the internal, and the negative, or what you call the feminine, the internal, the positive, the masculine, the external, what you call man. 31 or 13 or different. Shout out to John Tuanels. Hata mwambie hawasikiangi, Mount Kenya bona one shilingi na atauza hata mamake. It's all in the matter. You see, the thing is, I don't really care whether you listen or you don't. The fact remains, wale watoto mnawazaa hapa, they are going to bring you back here. You are going to be reincarnated into the same shithole that you are allowing, because this is what you are allowing. Sinyo ndio mnasemanga mtarudisha mababa wenyu. Msharudisha your fathers, your children into the same colonization. Your grandfathers were colonized with the land, actual land being taken over. Saizi Laikipia na Nyuki sio yenyu, Karen sio yenyu. Saizi ndio mnanunua to quarter, to 50 by 100. In your own land, ndio mnanunua to 50 by 100. So, wewe utarudisha watoto wako jumekataa ku expand your mind, you are still lost in church. Okay? Illuminated instead of being enlightened from within. So utarudisha watoto in the same slavery. Hawatakuwa na land. Watakuwa na kuambia, dad, hizi carbon credit, watu wakinunua misitu, nao ulikuwa wapi? The same thing mnaulizanga. Mutasema nini? Ilikuwa ni colonization. It was taken. Utawambia it was taken again, colonization. And then, what they are going to do, they are going to return you into the same matrix. It is in the same curses. Ndio tunasemanga, break generational curses, break generational traumas. It has to stop with you. Everything is in the mind. It's all mental. Bomali aliwaimbia, emancipate yourself, mukamuua. But moving from that, but you have to wake up. 14 messages. You don't have no number. Interest for Africa. Ukisema facts, your head says opposite. Sikize words of, you are too brainwashed, brother. Shout out to you. I don't like my brain clean. I like my brains dirty. Okay? I like my brain winner's ways. You are too brainwashed, brother. Shout out to winner's way. Sit down and learn. Build like them using their tools. Exactly. You see, we have dumb people, coconut heads, African booga booga. Caucasoids have more brains than you. You are the Negroids. The Mongoloids, these people have more brains than you because they think for themselves. Where people think that ukiongea wanakuambia, wewe unatuambia nini ukitumia vitu za mzungu, because you are dumb and stupid. Someone has already melted earth and created a gun for me. So now that's an advantage for me. All I need to go is go and guy that bun. Go and guy that gun. Go and buy that car. Because someone has done the hard work for me. Africans mukombele sana. They are creating the technology for you. Just go and take the technology and use it. Keyword, use it. Don't be used by it. Okay? Does the length of chemicals you put in your hair affect your crown chakra? No, it does affect your skin though, and it does seep into your streams, your blood streams, na vitu kaa hizo. And the other thing is why these things are weapons. They are made specifically to fuck up with you, your balance, your homeostasis. Okay? So you don't need them. Your hair is good, knotted up and curly and beautiful. Someone made you think that your hair is ugly so that they can sell you hair. You don't think. They tell you have ugly hair, dreadlocks, so that you can buy their Brazilian hair. Lakini wao wenyewe wanunuangi. White people don't buy those wigs. They sell to the black people. They made you think that you are ugly because of your big ass. They used to victimize Sarah Batman. They put her in a museum. They used to rape her, give her STDs because of her big ass. Right now, Sugasambi si anauzia matako. Si Sugasambi anauzia matako. Si munanunua matako nyinyi. Plastic things munavaa. See, they are using your people, akina Nicki Minaj, to go and get those. See, which doctors are doing these surgeries? It is them. Your Botox, it is them. So, nyinyi ndio mnakuanga wajinga. We like your tiny asses. Me, I have no problem with your tiny asses as long as you have a wet pussy. I don't even care whether your pussy is tight. All I need is a wet pussy. Okay? All I need is your pussy to be very wet. I don't care about your ass. Ass is just for the eyes jiggling. It's called women are walking vibrations. We like looking at curves. We actually don't even like looking at the ass. It's the curves on the women. A curve. Okay, understand a curve, you'll even understand why we came up with architecture on an esoteric level. Waushaiona kasichana munakaitanga slim, wanaitangwa slim in Jamaica. Kademu ni kadogo, but kakona curves, onion booty. She's small but she has an ass. So it's not about the ass, it's the curves in the women. Unasikianga, cheki msichana venye yako na mguu. Hakuna mtu anaangalia matako, ni miguu, curves. Women are containers. Now these people have gotten you distracted on us so that you can buy us from them. They make you feel ugly. They used to draw you as cartoons with big lips, red lips. Now who's getting Botox? Eh? Who's getting Botox? Akina jambo. See, the wife ndio anawa promote these influencers mnafollow. Ndio mnamfuata. Oh my God, ameenda kudunga huku Botox. Again, black people, you hate yourselves. You hate your features. They did a good one on you. Good witchcraft. You hate yourself. You hate anything that looks like you black people. Anything that reminds you of yourself, you hate it. You have to change it. In the words of Andre, you all don't want to hear my you just want to dance. Exactly. That's your energy. Coils. What should I cut? Keep your dreadlocks. That's why they call them dreadlocks. You have to be dreadful. Unaogopa. Dreadlocks. You know anything that is dread. That energy of dread, dead, drag is about the frequencies, not the word. So ukisikia dreadlock, dreadful, fearful. You fear the locks. Let your locks flow. It's ugly in Africa, and you don't see African hair. You only see Brazilian hair. You only see wigs on your women. They were made to feel ugly. Your women feel ugly unless they do all these things. That's why a lot of people are not seeing through the lies. Bridge, Saint Rosa, white people wear wigs. Shout out to the people sharing the live. Shout out to the people liking the live. Should be at 100,000 likes. Wet is wet. Shout out to all my wet women out there. Architecture. Who's listening to Sarakabu for anything? You are. Go to their channels. Who are all those millions of followers who leave comments there? It's you. Kama saizi ningekuwa Sarakabu, KCB 111B V8. Shout out to V8. KCB 111B. Black in color. Big car. Coach, what are you doing on here? Who's this? Shout out to you. I'm teaching. Stay natural. Boy, good evening. It's around 11 in the morning here. Do you astro project? I'm interested in the craft I used to when I was younger. Astro projecting is just you projecting your thoughts. This is why you must study. Kuna mtu alikuwa request and I took too long to accept your request. You can request again now. I was teaching first, so you can request again now. Sorry I didn't pick your call then. Now you can request as a guest. Ni sasa. So, nimeona bado hamjauliza questions. There's no questions yet. That's why I like questions, because my mind is everywhere. I park everywhere in the esoteric water, so I can get distracted and have no direction. And fuck, in the spiritual world, there's nothing like direction. Ujue hivyo. So I can lose my direction, which is very okay. I don't need structure. Okay? I'm structure. I'm Taurus. I make things make sense. I'm the real meaning of making sense. I'm the most practical. I don't need to be practical in any way, shape, or form. Now, yeah, so you are beautiful people. No one should make you feel ugly. The people who make you feel ugly, they have, shout out to Flight Boss. He says they have Balenciaga waistlines. You know them. They have bald heads. So even the way people are getting bald headed is by design. You are being poisoned to lose your hair so that you can be ugly like them. Nothing makes sense. We should not be having footballers who are balding. You should not be having a bald head at age 20 or 22. It's because food has been weaponized and they want you ugly with bald heads. I'm also balding because I didn't know, but I'm growing my hair back. Now, if you want it as a social experiment, I'm going to show you how you grow your hair back using no product, just following the moon and doing the right rituals. And I'm going to grow my hair back the way it's supposed to be. Lakini hamjaijiuliza, when they show you a depiction of that man, mnamuitanga Jay-Z, mbona alikuwa anaoneshana na nywele? But you're all balding. So if you want to be like Jesus na uko na kipara, uwezi ujiulize, kama wanamchora na nywele, mbona uko na kipara na venye unaenda kanisa? Think people, think for yourself. That's all you have. You only have your mind. And the mind is a beautiful thing. Don't waste your mind. Don't waste your mind, people. It's a terrible thing to waste. To waste your mind is a terrible thing. Stop wasting your mind. Think for yourself. Change your mind. You change your mind, you change your life. You change your mind, you don't die. You change your mind about the company you keep. Everything changes. Change your mind and you change your life. Change your mind and you break generational curses. It's all in the mind. Nothing is real. So now, let me jump into, I will have to learn how to grow my hair back. We are going to do that as a social experiment with you. I'm actually going to document the process nikianza. I'll do a whole tutorial. Mtaona kipara venye iko, nitakuwa na update programs, naonyesha venye inaendelea, and then nywele itamea. So let me tell you something. Let me take your mind deep. The real representation of a king's crown. The king's crown is open in the middle. That's witchcraft of you opening the firmament. That should be another video. Amudhaka, stop casting pearls to swine. This is too deep for their mind. So, king, akiwekelewa crown, anaambiwanga you are now king, you can rule. But the crown is not closed up, inakuanga open. Okay? So that's an allegory of you taking your mind high to the point you are creating an opening in the firmament as a representation. Story for another day. I told you we can go deep, but you're all not ready for that. You're not ready for knowledge. And should I jump into it? Do I have the time? I'm creating the time. Let me see. We should be going to the car wash at 11. Twende car wash kwanza. Finish this live in the next 30 minutes. It's not bound by time and space. Someone is saying we go deep. I'm listening. Thanks for the crown tip. John Tewa Nails. When you break the firmament, which you're not going to break with your rockets, I must say that let's do a whole video on what it means to be crowned a king. Now we have a king. So they have broken the firmament. Not physically, but he is now in charge. Alikuwa amekuja Kenya kwa sababu their shrines ziko hapa. When you go to Kenyatta Avenue, you are going to find the three wise men. They are everywhere around the world. In New York, they are on top of buildings. So the three wise men represent the queen who was in charge. The other one was the priest who was in charge. And the other one was, so we have the queen, we have the queen, the priest, and the builder. Who is this man? So ukienda town hapo Kenyatta Avenue, hawa wanaume watatu unaonanga hapo at they fought in the First World War, watu watatu. That is what they tell you. Those three men are the three wise men, and those three structures one represents the queen. Huwezi jua unless sasa unajua uende uangalie mwenye akona female features. One represents the priest. Atakuwa either na rosary or a cross or something that shows he's representing the priest or the church. And the other one will be representing the builder, the people who built in your city. But wewe ukiwaangalia unaona tu ni wanaume watatu wamesimama. And then directly opposite the three wise men on Kenyatta Avenue, you have that thing mnaitanga the obelisk or the totem, their totem, which is their altar. Directly opposite that will be the Indian bank. So that is a shrine. The three wise men, the totem in the middle of Kenyatta Avenue, and then you have the Bank of India. Now, when you start creating a city, any city that you are creating, you have to go downtown or where you have the city clock, which will be your city hall, where Sakaja Ako. From there, you have to start going to the north, your true north or the true east, or for the Kikuyus, venye muna facing Mount Kenya, munasema, thai, facing the east, the rising, that event, what you call the sun. Which when the more east you go, the more north you go, the true north, where you go to your spirituality. So to go that way, you have to erect a shrine. So ukienda city hall, where the city clock iko, and you start traveling east, you are going to see their shrines. So utaona first, the Jewish synagogue. We love the Jews. The Jews are the best people in the world. Utaona the Jew synagogue. And then utapata the Church of the Freemasons and the All Saints Cathedral. All the shrines zimepangwa line hivi from the city hall, which will be the city clock, or the downtown where they were passing all the laws. You go to every city in Africa, go to Tanzania, go to their city hall, go east, you'll find the shrines zimepangwa line. Any country in the world, from here to Europe to New York to everywhere. Where you don't see the statues on the ground because the cities are condensed like New York, they put them on top of buildings. You cannot see them unless you take a chopper ride, what you call their sculptures or their buildings or their shrines. Okay? Understand these things because they are hidden in plain sight. Wewe unaenda pale unasema ndio walipigania uhuru 1945, but it's written there. What do we call that thing? Wacha nione kama itakuja. Wacha nione kama ya Nairobi. What I'm actually going to say, I'm going to search Google with the words. The three wise men sculpture in Nairobi, Kenyatta Avenue, representing the men who fought a world war.
According to Business Daily, the monument was erected on site in 1928 in honor of the King's African Rifles and Carrier Corps who served in World War I. The three African men represent a porter, an askari and a gun carrier.
They represent a porter, a gun carrier, the people who built. The three men represent a porter, an askari, which is a fighting man, and a gun carrier. Now, people say that this is a reminder of a painful history. No, let's go to the images. So, these are the men I'm talking about. Sijui kama utaona nikifanya. These are the men I'm talking about. Sijui kama simu itaonyesha. Those are the men. That is not what you think you are seeing. Okay, the war monument. Let me go to what it reads down there. In memory of the soldiers in the World War. 1914 to 1918, 1999 to 1945, even the dates inakuambia what they are talking about. Now, when you look at these three men, sijui kama mtaona masimu itafanya hiyo maneno juu ya green screen. When you look at these men, one represents the queen, One represents the priest, and one represents the people who came to build for you. But for you to see it, you have to go there. For example, wewe unajuanga priest na nini? Ukiona mtu ako na white collar, unajua ni mchungaji. Ukiona mtu amebeba msalaba, unajua ni mchungaji. Ukiona mtu amebeba rosary, huo ni mchungaji. Kuna wengine depending on the ring they wear, unajua ni mtu wa kanisa. So you have to know what to look for when you go to this sculpture. Ndio ujue nani ya represent kanisa hapa. Ni huyu ndiye represent the priest. Nani ana represent the queen? You know that a queen represents the feminine. So nani atakuwa amevaa sandals za mwanamke hapa? Nani atakuwa amevaa jacket but the buttons are reversed, the feminine side. So you have to know what you are looking for. Don't just look at things like face value. Wewe unakuanga tao every day. Ujaifikiria hii ni nini iko hapa. Opposite, directly opposite. Their obelisk. Ujaijuiza hii aka ni kakitu kagani. Nani aliweka aka kakitu? Directly opposite the Bank of India. Which will never leave your ground floor. Hawata hii build kuwe kubwa. Because that is a shrine. Wewe jiulize Nairobi. Hakuna land. Si wabomoe Bank of India. Wajenge kitu ya 50 floors. Wapate pesa. Ulisikia wapi wabomoe? Ulisikia wapi mtu wabomoe shrine yake? It has to be moved. That is why the king was here. Your president alikuwa anafurahia na muonyesha ati these are the elephant, these are the elephant. Wewe Ruto, unaenda kuonyesha king nyumba yeye ndiye alifurnish. Back to the life.